hypothesis. So hypothesis, assumptions, case of characteristics. The way a study is that likely this is. It's also different from the research objectives. Though they are related, but they are different. So it is a tentative statement of fact stated in a testable form, which shows
bad, seriously. We are not hearing anything.
variables. Assist attest to. Hello. So you're not hearing anything.
It's
Class
now. Yes, sir. It's better now. It's breaking.
Who can help work? It goes up, it goes down. Okay. So
hello, sir. I think you need to reposition your device that you're using to route this network. It seems where you place your phone, the network is not receiving a network signal, or perhaps you may have to check if your network can be switched to 4G or 5G. Just check your network settings, because obviously is breaking. We can see the screen you are sharing, but we can't hear you clearly. So that's the issue, sir.
okay. No problem. I know my device has been in 4G, but let me confirm for purpose of this lecture. Let me confirm which network it is in. And yes, if you can hear me, the network is in 3G/4G auto. And the 4G is the highest in this phone.
Okay, but is there anything like only 4G? Because that 3G/4G, it will be switching from 3G to 4G if it's not strong. So that's what I'm asking. If you have a 4G alone, standing alone.
In this phone, there's no 4G alone. What we have
is okay. Yes, sir. It's okay. Just leave like that. It's okay, sir. It's okay.
That's one. And as you said about positioning the phone, is there any way the can be positioned and it has a better net.
Yes, if you can keep it on top a table, or so it should be up, not down. You understand what I'm saying, sir?
Up like
Such that
standing.
depending on your room location, at least you place it a bit above the table level.
Yes, if where I am is in my office in town here, is on books I stacked on the table.
Okay, sir. Okay, that's fine. So go ahead. I think network is stable right now.
Okay. So the important thing about hypothesis that it will be tested. You are subjecting it to a test. Hello, class. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Very well.
So a good has some features. That is the hypothesis is testable, and it has to be vague. It should be very straightforward, and usually it is based on existing knowledge. That is, this prediction you want to make is based on already existing knowledge that people know. But in this particular study, you want to test if it is true, if it is applies to this particular group you are studying. I hope you are following what I'm saying. Do you follow? Please, I like when people don't understand what I'm saying, that let them freely ask questions. You can, as I'm saying it, you can say, excuse me, you ask questions for things. I could not hear you, man.
Yes,
Hello, man.
together.
Mommy, you are trying to say something.
Okay,
I could not hear.
we are together.
Okay, we are together.
So, we are together. We are together.
So,
yes, yes, sir. We are together. I'm hearing you very well. Yes, sir. So,
and the objectives of the study, both of them guide the testable prediction about what you expect. Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Is my screen still showing?
No. No. No, sir.
Is it showing now? Is it showing now?
No, trying to start. Yes. Yes, yes, sir.
So I was trying to explain the relationship between the research objectives and the hypothesis. The hypothesis is from objective. Study time and academic performance. Maybe you have an objective that says women or female students study more than that's female students studied more than male students, or better put, that female students performs better than male students. Maybe that's an objective. The follow-up hypothesis to that objective will be related to the same objective. That is how to explain that. So when you come to the hypothesis and the objectives, if you are looking at the objectives and the hypothesis, you'll be seeing a relationship between the two. This one giving a prediction about that objective. I don't know, Carol, it's like I can only see only you here. Hello, Carol.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I don't know. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes,
Ma?
sir. Yes, sir.
The next one.
Yes. We are together, sir.
Okay, ma. The next one is types of hypothesis. Broadly speaking, we have, so question, what we're saying, do you understand it? Carol?
So far, yes, sir.
Okay, so far, yes.
So far.
Okay. Types of So broadly speaking, there are two types of hypothesis. We have the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis, which is symbolically represented as HO, H subscript O. This is the hypothesis that is subjected to statistical tests. The hypothesis is
It's breaking, oh.
the next type of hypothesis. The next type of hypothesis is the alternative hypothesis. It is symbolically represented as H subscript A or H subscript 1. This type of hypothesis contradicts the null hypothesis. Simply put, it is the opposite of the null hypothesis. And this hypothesis is not subjected to statistical tests. Hello, ma.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
hear me, ma?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, you just use to check the null hypothesis. Usually, when a hypothesis is stated as HO and H1, HO refers to the null hypothesis which we test. H1 is the alternative hypothesis which is not tested but contradicts or is in opposite of the null hypothesis. If the null hypothesis says there is no difference between study time of males and females, the alternative hypothesis will be there is difference between study time of males and females. If the null hypothesis says that female student performs better than male students, the alternate hypothesis will say female students do not perform better than the male students. I hope you are following what I'm saying.
Sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Still on types of furthermore, hypothesis can also directional, and hypothesis shows direction. It is called directional hypothesis. I will explain. This is also called one-tailed hypothesis. Directional hypothesis also called one-tailed hypothesis, and it shows direction. Looking at the note, say directional hypothesis is a prediction made by a researcher regarding a relationship or difference between or of the prediction. By showing direction now, the next slide says the key words that distinguish directional hypothesis, increase or decrease. Lower is showing direction, perform better than male students. You can see it's showing direction, or females have scored higher marks in statistics than male students. It's showing direction. So that's why it's called directional hypothesis, and it's also referred as one-tailed. Non-directional hypothesis. This is a prediction made by the researcher regarding a positive or negative change, relationship, or difference between two variables or sample or population that does not show the direction of the prediction. This is also called two-tailed. Hello. So, for example, if a hypothesis difference based on gender, in performance in statistics based on gender. When we say difference in performance, it does not indicate whether is it a negative difference or positive difference. It does not indicate, like the other example we give, it does not indicate whether the males are doing better than the females. It does not indicate whether the females are scoring lower than the male. A hypothesis like this is called non-directional hypothesis. It does not specify the direction of the difference. It just predicts the difference. It does not go further to show the direction of the difference. Like in directional, where you have words qualifying the difference, like higher, lower, less, more, increase, among others. Hello, ma. Any question, any query so far?
No.
Good. So the next one we'll do is
The network is so bad.
Madam, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Good. We are discussing errors. This errors you just make in testing hypothesis. Type 1 error and alpha error. We return or accept a false null hypothesis. When we accept a false null hypothesis, when we return or accept a false null hypothesis, it is called a type 1 error. When we reject a true null hypothesis, it is called a type 2 error or beta error. When we reject a true null hypothesis, it's called type 2 error or alpha beta error. Remember I said the null hypothesis is the hypothesis that is subjected to statistical testing. So this error, when we fail to reject a false null hypothesis, we've committed an error. When we reject a true null hypothesis, we've committed an error. Hello, Ma, you there?
Yes, sir. So which one is the false null hypothesis? Oh, network. Oh. This is serious. You post me for English, so.
Hello, Ma.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please ask your question.
I was asking about the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
hypothesis. The first null hypothesis.
The first.
Yes, yes.
Okay, first hypothesis. When you've tested it. It's not true that, let's say, maybe that's your work. You predicted that females perform better than males in statistics. And when you've tested the hypothesis, the result is showing that not you still go ahead and contradicting the null hypothesis after testing that. Hello, Ma, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now, before now, I wasn't hearing you again.
Okay, it's network. It comes off and goes.
I know. Yes, yes.
Today, my today's network is very bad. I don't know what is wrong.
Ah, there you go.
You Hello, Auntie Kado. Have I answered your question?
Unfortunately, I couldn't even get it because the networks were breaking seriously there.
Ma,
Don't know what we are going to do about this. So.
listen,
But let's continue, sir. Yes, I'm seeing this thing.
yes. Have I answered your question?
Unfortunately, the network didn't allow me to get it, sir.
Okay, let me take it over now.
Yes, yes. Now that is better.
Yes, I said A false null hypothesis is a hypothesis that after you've subjected it to statistical testing, you find out that it is not true. For example, if your hypothesis says that female students perform better in statistics than male students, assume this is a null hypothesis. After you subjected it to statistical tests, you find out that this is not true. That is a false null hypothesis. Have I answered your question satisfactorily?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. So as we progress in this course, you will see how we subject statistics hypothesis to testing. You understand? All these are backgrounds we are trying to do before we get to what's it called? How to testing this hypothesis with our statistical software. Remember, I asked you to get the install
SPSS.
their laptops. I know many of us are using only phone to join this meeting. I'll be showing maybe next 2 classes, you get to where we'll be doing it practically on a laptop. So that is all about hypothesis. Do I have another slide left? No? That's all about hypothesis. Any questions? What is hypothesis? Hypothesis, directional hypothesis, non-directional hypothesis, two-tailed hypothesis, one-tailed hypothesis, errors in hypothesis testing. If you leave here today,
Okay, sir.
Today's classes, I'm just feeling bad. I struggle with my network. I didn't hear anything. I just
Virtually everybody, virtually all of us.
I bought
We'll
data.
get the notes. Let's
if
get the notes.
you all understand. Do you understand? It's not only you. Me, I'm also struggling with network. It's Nigerian factor. I'm using MTN, which is supposedly the best here. So
Wow.
yet it will fluctuate. One time you hear my voice, one time you will not hear it. So it's not only you. I'm going to share this, drop this slide in the group so that people can share it.
Yes, and the previous one, sir.
All right,
the
have
previous
a nice
class.
day.
Thank you very much, sir. The previous class.
Previous one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the previous slide. Yes. I'll also share it to them now.
Okay.
Thank you,
sir.
and God bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much, sir. Have a lovely week, sir. Yes, sir.